What's my super sex skill that you can't get enough of?
Yeah, man, you said these things were spicy, but yeah, bro, her siblings gonna see this today. Alright, yeah, you really want me to answer for sure?
Sure. Yeah.
You already know the answer, though. Oh, man.
Hey guys, welcome to another episode of the Blockt podcast. Once again, it's your boy Vic, and today we have Ogemdi Nneoma. And today we're gonna kind of do something different. This is the first couples that we're gonna have on the show, so we're gonna do it a little different. We're gonna spice it up a little bit.
Oh, man.
We're gonna first of all start this first session by kind of getting to know them, know what they do and stuff like that. And then we're gonna play a little fun game. It's it's the dating game, the couples game. So it's like a game where they'll literally pick questions out of this pile randomly, and then they'll answer it, but they have to be sincere though.
Of course.
They can't lie, because these questions are kind of intense. Like
spicy.
So it's spicy, but also they can get a pass if it's too intimate and they don't feel comfortable talking about it. They can kind of pass that, but you can't pass more than 2 times.
Alright, we can do it.
Okay, we're good. Alright, so we're gonna get to know them. Alright, guys.
We'll start with Nneoma, ladies
first.
ladies
first.
Ladies
Yeah.
So, as you said, my name is Nneoma Nneoma. I'm a medical writer here in the city, actually, and this is my boyfriend, OG.
Alright, my name's Ogemdi, OG for short. I am a financial service professional, small business specialist, also here in New York City. So that's a little bit about us, and this is my girlfriend, obviously.
And we're from Jersey.
And we're from Jersey, of course. Jersey stand up. Jersey.
That's dope.
And we're both Nigerian.
We're Nigerians.
Both Nigerian.
That's so dope. I'm actually Nigerian too. I know a lot of people don't know
Small
about
world,
that.
man.
Yeah, I'm Nigerian too. So I was gonna ask, like, how did you guys meet?
You want to kick it off?
Yeah, so actually, we met on, I think, a couple years ago, like on my 23rd birthday. I remember he was friends with my sister, and I told her, just invite a +1, and they're friends, and nothing else was going on or anything. And at that time, I just thought of him as my sister's friend. Like, we weren't, going on dates or anything.
Yeah.
But during the pandemic, actually in 2020, we
Pandemic.
started going out.
That's how it is,
sister
that
really-
pandemic love. No, it's true though, man.
Yeah, so me and my sister would go out, and we would bring friends, and he would come, and we would just all like hang out and go out to clubs or whatever. And you could take it away.
But yeah, I mean, after that, like, we just got to know each other, and we just always kicked it, and we just started texting, and we're just like, I think we just matched out our energy and our vibe, and we just connected very well. I think that's really what it was. And obviously the pandemic, everything was closed, so we had no choice but to stay inside and hang out with each
all the
other.
time.
So, I had my own spot, so I just tell her, hey, come over, and we just got close and started hanging out. First, to start off, we were supposed to just work out together, right?
Yeah.
I was like, oh yeah, come over, like, let's get a workout in. The gyms are closed, so that was my excuse, obviously. But as you see, it worked out well.
We went to the park, and it was really nice.
Yeah. So and then the rest is pretty much history from there, man.
That's dope.
Okay, almost 2 years now.
Almost 2 years. You guys are so cute together.
Thank you.
Yeah, I remember seeing one of your pictures on Instagram, like really cute, and that's when I was like, is this some cute couple?
Thank you.
Yeah, I didn't even know you guys were Nigerian, but like that's dope too.
Small world, man.
Yeah, really small world. Okay, I want to ask you guys another question. Like,
of course,
what is the most important thing in your relationship that you think people should know about you guys? The most important thing.
the most important thing that you should know about us.
Yeah.
Like there's some reason, maybe?
I don't know. Anything. It could be anything.
In what sense?
I think we have a very great communication. Like whenever, like whether we're feeling terrible about something or just how someone acted, we're not afraid to tell each other like what's going on. And even when we're mad at each other, we either give her the space that we need to talk to each other, like before talking to each other, and then that's when we kind of try to work it out, because we never want to like go to bed angry.
Definitely.
Know? So.
I think another thing I would say is definitely like comfortability. Like I feel like as soon as we like started really hanging out with each other and spending time with each other, we got so comfortable. Like it felt like home. Like it felt so natural. Even the first time that we hung out like individually, it already felt like we were in a relationship. And I was like, that's when I was like, oh nah, this is crazy. Like, the second time we hung out, you came over. We spent like the whole day together, and she went home and everything. And she's like, "Yo, you know, I actually want to come back." I'm like, "What?" You said the whole. She drove all the way back, and I was like, "Oh no, this is different." I already knew it was going at that. I was like, "Yo, yeah." So
that's cute.
It's crazy.
That's really cute, though.
Yeah.
For real. She came back. Okay, one last question before we jump into the game.
Of course.
What is one relationship advice you give to people? Like from your relationship experience, what would you say is like the most important thing? For a relationship to succeed?
I would probably say patience. I think that was the biggest like lesson for me, especially because I'm an only child. So I never really had to deal with like siblings or like, you know what I mean? I always lived alone, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like I think patience was the biggest thing. Like, you know, as an only child, you always think like, okay, it's just you, so you expect to understand everything because it's just yourself. But now that you're dealing with somebody else, you have to really be patient and let them fully understand. Like, they're not gonna always think the same things as you. They don't always know how you have to feel or whatever it is. So you got to be patient and be comfortable and let them understand like where you're coming from. So I think that was
I would piggyback off of that, like communication and understanding. Like there's first part of communicating, but understanding that person. You need that patience really to kick in, because sometimes you don't know what's going on in someone's head. So they need to like explain it to you, and then it takes time to actually understand what's going on with that person.
And that was different for me because, like I said, I'm only child. I never had to go out and explain how I'm feeling individually to somebody else. But then, like, being in a relationship, like, you know you have to do that because that can affect them, or they may think that you feel some type of way towards them, and it may not even be about them. So that was big for me, for sure.
That's dope. Those are some really great things to know. Because, like, I feel like communication is, like, huge in a relationship. I feel like even in my relationship, I think the most important thing I learned was communication. Like, I don't think I've ever really been with a girl that communicated as well as my current girlfriend did. And it was just a whole lot of learning for me, because I think I was pretty good at communicating.
Right,
you think everybody thinks that before you get to a relationship, you're like, wait a minute.
Everybody thinks they're good at communicating, but then like she really like crazy, like we would have like a misunderstanding, right? And she may be upset about something, and before like she can be upset, she just come and be like, oh, like I didn't like how this happened,
right?
Or she'll be like, or she'll try to communicate with me and be like, oh, I'm sorry, that's biggest, like I'm sorry about this. I was like, that's crazy, like because I never really had that. Because I never. And
accountability is a lot too. Being accountable and like being able to say that, hey, you know, I was wrong or I made a mistake. Like being able to own that is big.
Yeah,
so.
I think that's something that we learned in our relationship.
Definitely.
We were working on that.
Just be like, yo, I'm sorry, I did this. I know I messed up, and like you guys move on from there.
Exactly.
That was
you have to.
Okay. Yeah, I think we got that going. So now we're gonna jump into the cards. We're gonna play the card game. It's gonna be really random. So they're gonna select the card, one person at a time. They're gonna select the card, and then the other person is gonna answer it. So whatever card you pick up, you ask a question to your partner, and then your partner has to answer it. But if the question is too strong for them, they can pass. But they only get. Should we do one pass? Two. Okay. We're not gonna do every single card, but like we're gonna do a good amount of cards.
Of course.
They can just get like 2 passes. We'll give them 2 passes.
Alright, we'll do that.
Okay. Yeah. Alright guys, we're gonna jump into that. Okay, we're gonna go right into the card game. So this is the card over here.
Yes,
sorry. And you guys can kinda just like pick from a card and just like ask.
Yeah, I'll ask the first one. Let's see what we got here. Okay. Alright. My God. This one says, why are you still with me after I broke your trust? You're coming in real strong, man.
I don't really think you broke my trust. That's the thing. You haven't broke my trust. You actually have. I think in the beginning of our relationship, we talked about, you know, what were our cutoffs, or what was something that we wouldn't forgive, and I think we respected each other in that way.
Which was very different. Like I've never had a relationship like that. Like we literally like laid everything on the table. Like, hey, this is non-negotiable for me. This is not acceptable for me. I won't tolerate this.
Not as harsh as.
Not like it wasn't as harsh as that, but like we just pretty much like laid out everything. Like, hey, this is what's like I don't like and and like now that we knew that right from the get-go. So from there, we just always had that respect to each other to not cross that boundary, not to do something that like would turn the other person off in that sense. You know what I'm saying? So, but yeah, so. Your turn. God.
Yeah, you can pick a random.
Go ahead, shuffle it up a little bit, pick a random one.
You could put a bunch of one on the thing, on the deck, so that you just select. You're not forced to like pick.
Alrighty. She's smiling already, man. Let's see what she got cooking up.
Okay.
Let's see what she got.
What's my super sex skill that you can't get enough of?
Yeah, man, you said these things were spicy, but yeah, but her siblings gonna see this today. Alright, you really want me to answer for sure?
Sure. Yeah.
You already know the answer, though. Oh, man. I think it's like, everybody knows what every guy's favorite, like, you know what I'm saying? Like every man already knows the answer to this one when it's just like, you know what I mean?
Explain it?
Huh?
You're not gonna say it.
Nah, I would definitely say head. Like that'd always be the number one. Like every guy likes that comfortability, just being able to just lay back and, you know what I'm saying, or however y'all get down, whatever it is. But I think everybody just loves that. You know what I'm saying? Just feel like you just relaxing and you just getting, taken care of in that sense. So I'll say that one. I'll say that. Yeah, man, you kicking these joints so spicy. You went right to it. Like, not what's your favorite color, nothing like that. All right, let me go ahead, man. Let me see what we got in. Let me shuffle it up a little bit.
Shuffle it up.
Try to switch some of these. All right, let me grab this one right here, man. We went straight to it. All right. Okay, what is / was your greatest fear of getting married? Okay, it's an interesting question. What is / was your greatest fear of getting married?
I guess just in general, it not working out. Because there's just so many high divorce rates now. And just being in a relationship is hard, you know? And the fact that, like, we are on the same page, I feel just way more comfortable with... Definitely. Like, I know I'm ready. You already know that.
And we've had that conversation.
Yeah, we've had that conversation. We know, like, around the time we would want to move to the next step. So, like, I'm not afraid. But in the past, it was always, like, is the guy fully committed to me, you know?
No, definitely. I hear that. That's crazy. And I feel like we had a similar conversation about that the other day, too. Like, just about, like, how, like, relationships are nowadays. Like, I feel like they've been so temporary, you know what I mean? Like, in the sense of people walk away so easily. Like, one thing and people already just throw it all away, move on to the next person. I'm going to get back on the apps and do all that stuff. But, like, to really stick it out and work through a relationship, like, it really takes work. Like, actively you have to put work into it for it to be successful. So, yeah, man, that's crazy. Alright, let me put it over here so we don't get them confused. Go ahead. Let's see what you got for me.
When do you feel I'm most distant from you?
Wow, okay. Ooh, when do I feel that you are most distant? Like, not outside of just a physical sense of just going to work, like something more like emotional or something, right?
I think it's more than
definitely
emotional. Angry or something.
Yeah, I would definitely say for distance, definitely like if there's something going on, like if there's, I would say like if you're upset, like if obviously if we just like, we had an argument of some sort or a disagreement or we didn't see eye to eye, like, those are the, like, it's the toughest times. It's like, damn, like you care about this person, you want to be close to them, but like, y'all just had this conversation that didn't go so well. So I would definitely say that'd be when we feel most distance, like after like a disagreement or we didn't see eye to eye on something.
Yeah, that makes sense, because like for me, I know I need my space.
Yeah, she's also big on, she needs her time, she needs her space.
Yeah, like if we're gonna get into a heated argument, like 2 seconds later, can't be like, come on, let's talk about it. Like, I need time.
Yeah, you need
just a little bit of time
to
cool down. And then, like, I feel better talking about it, like, when I give time,
Yeah, okay. It's great.
That's a great question.
That was a good question.
Yeah, they're good questions, right?
See, I wish they would have started off like that. Let's ease into it.
These are
so good, so good. Oh, this one right here, right?
Yeah.
Alright, let's go ahead and go for it. Okay. If you could have something of mine, what would it be and why?
Something of yours?
What's something that I have that you would want?
Oh, I think you know this. Like, his eyelashes. He has
oh my gosh, that was what it was. everything I have, like, I don't know if it was just materials or possessions or whatever.
If it was that version, his eyelashes, he has very long eyelashes, and you know girls really love eyelashes.
Oh my God.
If not, it would obviously be like, I mean, I feel like we both have a big heart. We're very similar in that sense, but I think just your compassion, you always want to take care of me, just always being there for me.
Answer. You got that, yo. Damn, that was a good answer.
Yeah, but I really love that about you.
Okay, you got that. She got that.
But no, he has beautiful lashes. Just
oh my God. Go ahead. Your turn.
No, it's my turn.
Let's see what you got for me.
In what ways do my friends reflect who I am?
I think that's a good question. I always say that, like, you know, the circle of friends that you have is so important. Like, you really are the people that you surround yourself with, and like, I think Nneoma does a really good job of keeping herself with like a very strong group of women, like also black women at that, right? Like, I feel like everybody in your friend group, like, is either doing something that, you know, they're passionate about or whatever it is, and they motivate you in that sense. Like, I feel like you need to keep yourself surrounded with people that continue to motivate you and want to better you, or have your best interest at heart, or whatever it is. And I feel like from your friends, like, everybody that I've met, they're all so supportive of everything you've done. Like, they know how hard you work and whatever it is, and they continue to push and motivate you. So I would say they're very reflective of you in that way, for sure.
Thank you.
That's a compliment to your friend group. They're gonna love that. That's for sure.
Next.
I just picked it, right?
No,
you just alright. Alright, go ahead. Okay. Why did you last feel jealous, and how do you really feel about it now?
Why did I last feel
Why did you last feel jealous, and how do you really feel about it now? When was the last time you felt jealous?
I'm like,
if you've ever felt jealous.
I know, because the thing is, we're so like sure about each other, so we just know that we wouldn't do anything wrong to each other. So whenever, like, because he has like female friends that he grew up with, right? So we've all formed like friendships with each other, so I don't see jealousy in that way. So I'm like trying to think. Maybe when you like go on Instagram and you say some bullshit like, oh, she was good. Don't tell me that. And I'm like, oh, right here.
My God. So, alright, to be fair, Nneoma, like she said though, is like she said, like, you know, I think, like, you mentioned about having female friends, and like some people are like, no, like, you can't have any female friends, Like, one thing about her is like she's so secure in herself, and that's something that like I've always loved, because like, you know, you've never felt any intimidation about any friends that I have, you know, guys, whatever, you know what I mean? Like, you've never felt that certain, like, you're so secure with that. And I also do, like, I also go out of the way to introduce you to all my friends, right? Like, she has, like, genuine relationships with my friends, like, you know what I'm saying? Regardless of whatever happens to us, like, I feel like she would still be friends with them, you know what I mean? Kind of thing. Like, you have friends of mine that you will text or you'll FaceTime and have, like, real relationships.
Like our own conversation.
Exactly. Like, it's never, like, I don't have no, like, shady friend that she doesn't know or whatever, like, you know what I'm saying? So, like, I think that's important when somebody does have friends of the opposite sex, that you have that open line of communication, and, like, there's obviously those boundaries there that everybody knows not to cross. So, yeah.
That's cool.
That was a good question.
That was a good question.
Okay, let's see.
Let's see what you got up there for me.
I think it was done, right?
I just pulled.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
I think we just both answered it.
Yeah, we both answered the question.
Go ahead.
What part of your sexuality do you still not understand, and why do you think that is?
What part of it that I don't understand?
I mean, you do understand.
I mean, for me, I think I'm pretty certain on where I stand with that. But yeah, for me personally, I don't think there's a part of my sexuality that I don't understand. You know what I'm saying? I think I'm pretty sure about my preferences. So I think I'm pretty sure of myself. So I think I'm good on that. Let me go ahead and grab your card. Let me shuffle it up a bit, because I feel like we just been grabbing for the top. I want to like mix it up a little bit, get something out of the hat. We gotta get those spicy ones back up here, put you in a hot seat.
Okay.
Let's see what we got here. Oh, when do you feel we aren't equal? Damn. Wow. When do you feel we are not equal?
That's a hard question.
That's a hard question.
Because we try, like, I mean, obviously no, like, relationship is 50-50.
Yeah. No, like, I was going to say that, because some people, like, I think they go into relationships with the mindset that, oh, everything's going to be 50-50, and we're going to split everything in half, and da-da-da.
Yeah.
But realistic...
he's going to pay everything.
Yeah, or that one, too. That's like that new social media age.
Yeah.
But, like, outside of that, like I feel like real relationships, they're never like relationships that actually work. They can't be 50-50. Like it doesn't always work like that.
So I'm trying to see, when do I not feel equal? I'm like really trying to think, and I don't want to pass this one. I just can't think of it.
Yeah, I mean, it's okay.
So then you can talk about how, I guess, talk about how we try to make things equal, because we just said that we said that now everything's 50-50. So how do we try to make things equal? Like even in the
household, like chores aren't 50-50. Like sometimes I put more work because you're in grad school, you work a full-time job, like you have so much going on your plate. So like I'll like carry more of the chores, and then other times you will, depending on like when I'm busy.
That's
so
true.
I feel like we like support each other in that way. Definitely. Whenever one person like carries a lot more of a load, so the other one tries to compensate in that way.
Definitely. So. I like when we first met, like she was studying for a pharmacy exam. Like
right.
like she didn't do anything. No, she did literally, but like, you know what I'm saying? But I knew like, okay, she's studying for a very hard like pharmaceutical exam. She's trying to become a licensed pharmacist. I have to step and obviously put that support there, because this exam is very, you know, intense and integral, whatever. So, you know what I'm saying? But we've just had that trade-off where we know, like, okay, like, I'm going to have to put a little bit more here. Right. I'm going to have to put a little bit more there and whatever. And then when we're able to help and support, we try to, like, even as busy as I am, I'm like, okay, let me help you cook, or let's take out the trash together. Let's do this together. You know what I mean? To try to still keep that balance where it doesn't feel like, oh, the whole load's on me kind of thing. You know what I'm saying? So.
Because sometimes, you know, one person will take more than the other. Like what you said during me in school, you were definitely doing a lot more. Now I feel as though, like, you know, I'll like volunteer to cook more because, you know, you're busy like studying or something.
Yeah.
So.
Go ahead.
Okay.
Why'd you look at the woman looks at the car like that? It's never good. It's never good.
When was the last time you felt suffocated by this relationship, and why?
I felt suffocated.
I mean, have you? That's the question.
Yes. Wow. When was the last time I felt suffocated? I'm gonna really try to think about this. Like, I want to see if there really was a time before I just say, nah, there wasn't. I don't think I ever have really felt suffocated by this relationship. Like, I feel like one thing that I really appreciate about like our relationship is the fact that you've never been with, like, I feel like there's a lot of females out there that'd be like, oh, you spend so much time with your friends, or you do this, you do that. Like, you're like, go hang out with your friends. You're more willing to, like, go spend time with your boys, Like, she realizes that it's important to have a relationship outside of your relationship, right? With your friends, with your family, whatever. Like, she always encourages that, and I do my best to do the same as well. And like, we always like have pushed that, like, obviously we're together, we have our own relationship, but it's important to have those relationships outside. And I've never felt like, in a sense, so suffocated where like, oh damn, I can't even go do this or I can't do that. You know what I'm saying? I feel like we make that a priority.
That was my question.
Okay. Let's see what we got going on over here. What do you think I'm insecure about? Wow.
I think right now, just the whole, because right now he's trying to look for another job, right?
Yeah, for
so
sure.
You're already doing well at your current role, but you want to do more, you want to, give more. So I feel as though in that sense, like, you've been through this journey for a while. It's been like 2 years job searching, and you haven't, like, he has interviews and everything, but still you're looking for that job. And I feel like in that sense, that's where you feel insecure that you haven't received one or got one.
I can say that. I'll definitely speak to it. That's for sure. That's for sure. Wow. So you gotta test it. Go ahead.
No,
it's your turn, right?
Okay.
We did this one, right?
Yeah.
Figured out, like.
So I'm picking for you. Wait, no, you're picking for you. Answered.
You just asked the question.
Alright, so now you
asked the question. So you asked now.
I need to hold the card as Who loves whom more in this relationship?
Oh my gosh. Nah, like, I'm gonna give him a real answer. I've definitely, and we've had conversations about this where I said that I felt like as if I loved you more, right? And I feel like when we had those conversations and I brought up the reasons why I felt that way or whatever it was, like, we were able to kind of get a better understanding of one another, what one another needs. What I think was important was, like, because when a relationship's new, you don't know everything about the person. You don't know, like, what that person may need or what they may need more of or whatever it is.
Yeah.
So I think when I brought that up and, like, we had that conversation, you did what, like, was necessary to, make sure that I didn't feel that way. And, like, now, I don't feel that way. I feel like we've come to a pretty good spot now. So,
I love you.
It's really, yeah, that's real, yeah. Damn, man, these questions are serious.
Like
man.
it.
This is no joke,
You
man.
like the questions? Yeah, they're good.
And we sober, man. This is crazy.
No, next time I'm definitely
drink.
getting a drink next time for this kind of questions.
Alright, baby, you can go.
On the next one?
Yeah, because I had this.
Alrighty. Alright.
Uh-oh.
When do I hurt you?
I think in the past, when you were upset with something, or like again, like you were learning about your patience, right? You were trying to. I felt like in those ways, like the way you spoke to me, we agreed that it wouldn't move forward in that way. So that's one thing. Like working with each other, I think you would get impatient and like snappy, and vice versa. Like I'm working on myself.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm very short patience. Like that was always like my thing. Like I'm always like I don't know. I've always had this mindset like, yo, if I understand, you should understand. It's like get it.
Right.
But
it
comes from being like I said, like it comes from being only child, because like I didn't have to explain myself to somebody else. You know what I mean? If I understand it, okay, that's all I need. I'm gonna go ahead and do this, and that's it. You know what I mean? But I think that was like you said.
Right, like I had to have conversations like I don't understand what's going on.
Yeah.
And then you would have to like break it down.
Yeah, sometimes I have to break it down, or like I like take a deep breath, step back, and be like, okay, you know, she doesn't understand this. Take your time, explain this so she can understand this the same way that you do. Yeah.
That's that.
You know.
Ooh, I dropped one. I don't think I answered it though. Okay. How am I not the person you dreamt of being when you were younger?
How are you not the person I dreamt of being with?
Yeah.
No, like maybe like it's
like I was like maybe you had a different idea of who your woman was when you were younger. So what was your ideal person when you were younger?
Yeah.
And is it the same as me?
Or like or like maybe you kind of have some things that he probably was looking for, but it probably was some things that he probably didn't.
Yeah, I would say like, and I like, it's interesting because like we talked about this all the time, but
we did.
but like you know before Nneoma, like I've never been with a Nigerian.
You guys have talked about everything.
Yeah, you know, you have to have these conversations. Sometimes we literally just like, especially like the pandemic, there wasn't nowhere to go, so it was like just talk, and things just flow. But I would say like you know. Like I said, like before Nneoma, I'd never been with a Nigerian woman before, like period. You know what I mean? So what don't make that No, it's true though. Like I never been with a Nigerian woman like before, and like you know, so and especially because the hometown that I grew up in, it was very diverse, right? But it was diverse, but there weren't a lot of black people. So of course, like if I'm not surrounded by a lot of black women, like I'm not gonna grow up thinking like, okay, this is the type of person I'm gonna be around because I wasn't exposed to it. You know what I'm saying? Your environment impacts like the person you are so much. So if I was in an environment where I was not around a lot of black women, I'm not gonna go ahead and be going for black women because that's not what I see. That's not the environment I was in. So I would say like I guess in comparison to the person I thought I'd be with as a younger person, I thought it would be somebody like of another race because that's what I saw. Like you know what I'm saying, whether it's Hispanic or white, whatever. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's the type of things that I was around. But I think that I would say like now meeting you and knowing who you are, and like I said, the biggest thing has been like the fact that we are both Nigerian. Like the way that we came up is so similar. Like I always say like Nneoma is the woman that I needed. You know what I'm saying? In the sense that I was like we connect. Like we really just like when I met you, like we connected on things that I've never connected with other women with before. I've never been able to connect on the fact of how we grew up together, or like you know what I'm saying, or just like understanding certain things or certain experiences or whatever, being able to relate on even foods or this and that or whatever, going to certain places and things like that. Like I've never been able to connect that deeply. So like you know when I met you, it was like even though it wasn't what I thought of as a child, like it was more than what I expected now. So it was good. I had to tie it in. You know I had to tie it in at the end. I had to tie it up at the end, but nah, but
yeah, y'all are really cute though. You guys have a lot of
I appreciate that.
chemistry. That's good. Okay.
What is one thing you never want me to forget? What's one thing you never want me to forget?
I guess how much I love you.
That was an easy, cute answer though.
It's true because like some people drift apart or they don't understand like how someone loves one another, you know, and because of that they think, oh, maybe they don't love me, but it's like, yes, I love you and I will always love you, and don't ever forget.
That's a good
response.
Yeah,
that was a good one. You got that. You got that. Put that right there. So I can pause that.
Okay. What do I do that detracts from our relationship?
That detracts from it. What do you do that detracts from our relationship? In what sense? Like, what's something that would like damage the relationship?
No. It's like, I think it's kind of saying like, what is something that probably takes away like. I think
like working too much.
Yeah, or like exactly.
Okay.
Something that kind of takes away.
Something that kind of takes away. I feel like I could, like, if I really dig deep, I could try to find something. I'm gonna try to really think about it instead of saying nothing. Something that kind of takes away from the relationship.
Maybe you can talk about the past, because like I think in the past we've learned from things and we get better. But we could talk about like a time when, you know.
Well, I'm trying to think like. Damn, this is actually really hard. Something that takes away from the relationship. I mean, like, at first it was just really just when you were studying for your exam. Like, that was definitely a tough time period. Because, mind you, like, we practically just met, right? It's the summertime. It's COVID. There isn't a whole bunch of stuff to do. But it was like, okay, try to make something fun. Like, go to the beach or go outside, go do something. And she was very limited with her time. Like, it was like,
study, like,
every time we tried to, literally. And it was like, you know, at the same time, you on social media, you see all these other couples go out and do fun stuff. I'm like, damn, like, I want to do fun stuff with you too. And we couldn't because it was just like, damn, I got to study. And I was just like, damn, I was trying to think of everything though. Like, and I feel like that.
I did appreciate, like, you went out your way. We went to the park. And we would like set up a blanket and food, and I'd be able to study, and you would also just have to spend time with me. Or going to the beach, the same thing.
Yeah, like, and that's another important thing in like a relationship that you really want to work is like putting in that effort. Like, even though she was busy, I could have been like, all right, you're busy today, fuck it, like whatever, I'm not gonna see you. But like, I was like, nah, you know what? Even though you're busy and you need to study, let's go to the beach and then you can study right there, and I'll just like, you know, do my thing, but I want to at least be by you or whatever it is. So like, yeah, man, but. Yeah, that was definitely a time when for sure.
That's what I'm saying. Maybe go to a time when if you can't think of something.
Let me get your question ready. Okay. What is preventing me from becoming the person I want to be? What is preventing me from becoming the... Okay, what do you think? I guess it's about what do you think is preventing me from becoming the person that I want to be? Like, is there anything you think is holding me back or slowing me down or whatever?
I think you've been doing a really good job with the whole like job process. Like I don't even think it's you. I think it's just the opportunity is very hard to get into, and just the fact that like someone needs to give you a chance because you know you're a great guy. You're very determined, hardworking, everything. So I think what stands in your way is opportunity, but it's not you. You know.
Okay. That was a good answer.
Next question.
Take that answer. Go ahead, your turn.
What would make you leave me? I think we're gonna
Oh my gosh, I like. And they putting out the big ones. Alright. I mean,
giving you the hard ones.
Yeah, they always hit me with the tough ones. But I mean, obviously, like, you know, we talked about this like earlier, but it was just like any like, you know, serious breaches of trust, whether it's like, you know, like cheating or stepping outside the relationship or whatever it is. One thing for me is like, you know, any like physical altercation, like, you know what I'm saying, like if it got to a point where things like got physical and stuff like that, like, you know what I'm saying, that was definitely a big thing for me also that I don't tolerate. So I think it would be those two things. And I think you'd probably agree and say the same thing.
We spoke about this.
So
dang, you guys prepared for the game.
You gotta, now we've been having these conversations for so long though, cause like, yo, but I think it's good. Like, I feel like you have to have those conversations of things that are like, yo, like, because some people generally don't know, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you have an idea, like, for example, like, the cheating thing, right? Obviously, like, ideally, you would think, like, okay, if you cheat on me, I'm going to leave. But some people really don't think of it that way. Or maybe they're, like, more lenient, or they're like, okay, maybe I'd give them a chance or whatever it is. Right. But some people are like, they're like, no, I'm not, you know what I'm saying? I'm not even going to give you that time of day.
Exactly. And, like, for me, remember, I told you that was, like, my deal breaker in the beginning. So I think because we established that in the beginning, it's like, okay, you know. Because a lot of people, like you said, will go back to someone. But for me, I knew that was, like, a no-no. Like, if you cheated on me, no matter how long we've been together, it's a no. So if you respect that, you're not gonna do that. You know, if you truly love the person. But but yeah, that's something.
Yeah.
That's a good question.
Okay.
Is that my question?
I think that was my question.
That was
so it's my turn to ask you.
I'm like not remembering when I pulled these cards.
Let me just turn it. Let's see what we got here. All right. What's the biggest sacrifice you've made that I haven't acknowledged? Woo! That I have not acknowledged.
Huh.
What do you think you sacrificed the most that I haven't acknowledged?
I mean, this would. I feel like it would have to go back in the past, kind of thing.
Okay, so you can try to do a time when.
A time when.
Or a story time.
I mean, it is the past though, because because
it's
like something that probably happened before.
No, I just feel as though like when you started going back to school and just working a lot and everything, like I would really have to stand up and like clean the house, clean the house, cook, do all these things, and I felt like I wasn't being acknowledged for it in the beginning. You know, like especially like on the weekends, like we would dedicate like a day to do it, blah blah blah, but you would get really busy and you couldn't really help in the kitchen. So like at that time, but then now you're actually being more involved. So after we talked about it.
And I think the biggest thing that I always try to like do is like show my acknowledgement and show my appreciation. Like if I come home from work and like whatever, she works at home, so like not that she doesn't work, but she works at home.
From home.
I have to go into the office. Yeah, she works from home. I have to go into the office. So like, for example, if I come back home from like a long day of work and I see that the house is clean, I know it wasn't clean the night before. Like I try to make that effort to let you know, like, hey, I saw that you cleaned. I appreciate that.
Yeah, like I feel like that's really good because in the beginning it's like you may notice it and not say anything and appreciate it, but if I don't know, then I feel like
you don't exactly. Yeah. So that's why communication comes into play. Like even though like no one obviously knows that I appreciate in the back of my mind, but it still feels good to tell somebody and let them hear that like, hey, like I appreciate that you did that. Or there's times where like I'll come home from work, we eat dinner, and you know what I'm talking about. Like we eat dinner, I get tired, I probably fall asleep or whatever it is. We leave the plates out, everything, and then I'll whatever. The next day I'll get ready for work or whatever. But I'll notice that everything's like put away, or like she did like whatever, she took care of it, and I'll let her know like, hey, I know that I noticed that you did that. I do really appreciate that. I want to let you know that. So yeah.
Okay, so you did it. Now it's my turn. I'm like trying to remember who picked the card. If you could change one thing about me to improve our relationship, what would it be and why?
Wow. One thing about you to improve our relationship and why. I always said the biggest thing for you, and like I think you already know how I'm going with this, is like I don't know why, like I don't know why, but I would say like I always tell you to speak positively about yourself, or to always like to never doubt yourself. You know what I'm saying? And like the type of person I am, like no matter what, I always think I could do anything. You know what I'm saying? Like I always say like, oh yeah, I could do that, because I'm just like, even if, whether it be true or not, like I always just feel like if you speak that positivity out, you'll receive that positivity. But if before you even attempt something, you're already speaking negatively, you're already speaking down on yourself, like, the result is not, you can't get to the result if you've already taken steps back by starting off by speaking bad about yourself.
Yeah, I agree, yeah.
So that's one area. That's one area I've always told her about. Like, she's like, oh, like, I don't know if I can do that, or I don't know if I'm good enough to do this, or or I'm not good at this. And I'm like, even if you're like not good at this, don't say, oh, I'm not good at this. You know what I'm saying? Be like, this is something I'm going to continue working on, or this is something I'm aiming to get better at. You know what I'm saying?
Like, I'm working on it.
But I would say that would be, and I think that would definitely like continue to positively affect our relationship, like just being like having that more positive mindset and outlook on everything. So
That's dope. I think you already answered those ones.
Although you picked one from the used closet.
No. You're good. You're next now.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. My turn.
You can pick from the bottom, right?
Oh yeah, let's shuffle it up a little bit. Let's try to get something.
He said.
Yo, they try to play me on here. Nah, let's shuffle around a little bit. Let's see what we got going here. Okay. Why are we making it work right now? That's a good question.
Right now?
Why are we making it work right now?
I mean, I think we've established something here that we both agree on. We're on the same page, so I mean, what do you mean by right now? As opposed to
okay, then take out the right now. Take out the right now from the question.
Like
why? Okay, I guess like if I had to twist it, I would say like why has the relationship been successful? Or, like what are we doing to make the relationship successful? If you want
I think based off of what we've been saying, like communication, understanding, patience. It's just we're different people at the end of the day, even though there are similarities. we've built like some sort of foundation, right? And we know what we want. We're on the same page, and we truly value each other. We love each other. So I don't see why we wouldn't want to make it work. You know, like we both want the same things out of this, and we want it to last.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, I would say that. I think just being like very clear and being very clear with your intentions. Like I feel like, and like I remember I was just on the phone with our friends yesterday. And I was asking her about like what her intentions are with like, you know, a dude she's messing with or whatever. And I feel like when you're not clear about what your intentions are, especially like from the start, or what you want, or like what your expectations are, and a lot of people aren't, because they're like, oh, I don't want to come off as too much, but I feel like you need to be intentional with everything that you do, and especially a relationship, because it's like money invested, time invested, your energy, your emotions invested. Like if you're gonna put all that into an investment, you should have a purpose behind it or an intention behind it.
And I think that's what we do, and because of that, I think that's why it's working. Because in the beginning, we had these clear, you know, expectations, clear intentions of what we wanted. And even you said like, oh, okay, she's not playing.
Yeah, like,
so.
Yeah, I'm not gonna, like, I'm telling, like, one thing about Nneoma, like, she came off, I don't want to say she came off strong.
I told him, like, I don't want my time wasted.
But, like, she came, like, with, like I said, like, she's the first woman that came, like, so intentional with, like, what her plans were. Like, she wasn't gonna sit there and let me just waste her time and like just bullshit, like, you know what I'm saying? Because I'm not gonna lie, like, I've been in a situation like that where I knew, like, all right, my mind, this ain't going nowhere, but she hasn't asked me what my intentions are, so I'm gonna just write it out and like, let's just see, like, you know what I mean? But she was very intentional, like, you know, exactly what she wanted, like what she wanted to do with her time, what her plans were in the future, everything like that, like what she wanted out of a relationship. And I think having that intention and asking those questions that need to be asked, like, okay, what type of, like, where do you see this going, or what are your plans here, like, da-da-da, do you see yourself doing this, da-da-da-da, and I think asking those questions.
I think it's kind of, like, worked out because, like, prior to you, I was in situations where it's like, oh, okay, I know it's not going anywhere. So, like, once you get tired of that, you're like, okay, I think I know what I want at this point.
Right.
And the next person that's, like, you're involved in, and if you think is going somewhere, you kind of want to set the tone. And then from there, see what happens.
Set the tone.
Yeah. That's exactly what she did. She got that for sure. Yeah.
What would you be doing differently if we weren't together?
What would I be doing differently if we weren't together? I mean, I think the biggest thing would maybe be like,
That's a hard one.
I would say maybe like, because remember, we had a conversation the other day, right? We talked about, like, hypothetically, like, relocating, right? And obviously, like, you know, relocating now that you're with somebody and we live together and everything like that, like, it's not just me, like, it has to make sense for the both of us, right? Like, we both work here in New York or whatever, you know, so, like, we both need to kind of be in the area, so it wouldn't have to be a decision that made sense for both of us. So I think the thing I would do differently is, like, you know, if we weren't together, I could be more open to, you know, relocate and go to Atlanta or go to Houston or go to LA or whatever, because, oh, opportunity called, I can go and just take it, you know what I mean? Where I have friends that, you know, I had a friend that just moved to Chicago because opportunity called, but she's single. So obviously opportunity calls, you could go to a big city, boom, of course you're going to go ahead and take it. Another friend just got an opportunity in Miami. So of course she's single, you know what I'm saying? So it's like she had the opportunity, she could just run to it, you know what I'm saying? So I think that'd be the only thing, like, I'd be a little bit maybe more open to that and to those opportunities. But outside of that, I think, that'd be really the only thing.
Okay.
Yeah, but that's not in a bad way or anything. I don't think it, like, hinders me or anything like that, but I think, like, that's just that. Let me go ahead and pull this out. Okay, how would you define our relationship? How would you define it?
I think we are strong together. We're strong individuals, so we're very strong together. I think our relationship, I don't want to say it's an example, but I think we're trying to make an example of each other and trying to do the best in our relationship for each other. Like, I think we're trying to learn each other continuously. We put in that effort. We love each other a lot, you know? Like, we get emotional. Like, but I think that we've set such a strong foundation, and we keep building on top of it. And we constantly are growing from each other. I think we're in a good spot, you know? And I don't want to change that.
Oh, that's fair.
Appreciate that. Is it my turn to pick?
Yeah, it's your turn to pick. Because she just
answered. I answered.
Okay, so, alright, go ahead.
I'm going to hold it until
You're good.
Who would struggle more if we broke up?
Wow.
We just skip this one, no?
Yeah, I mean, you can.
Oh my gosh.
Who would struggle more? I would fucking struggle.
I mean, I feel like we'd both struggle. I mean, yeah, I feel like we'd both struggle tremendously. Like we're definitely like independent individuals, but we've definitely built, you know, dependency. Yeah, we built something together. We built, you know, a sense of a dependency on one another. Like we always say, like, damn, like I can't see myself like living without you, because it's like we've gotten to a point where our lives are integrated each other so much that it's like it'd be hard to just be like, well, okay, that person's out, now figure it out by yourself. You know what I mean? Like, you know, we live together, like, you know what I'm saying? We split different things, so like we have things already set up in motion that we're working on. So it'd be hard to just be like, okay, now you go off and do your thing, and you go off and do your thing. So I don't think either one of us would struggle more. I think we'd both struggle, like, significantly.
I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah, put this down, Mimi, your turn.
Whew. All right, damn, that was it. I get all the heavy hitters, man. Go ahead. So my turn to pull.
Right.
Okay,
Yeah, your turn.
pull it out. Okay. How have your feelings for me changed? That can be good and bad. So like you can say it in a good way, because I did the instinct is to just go to the bad. But
answer. So, no, they've just grown from when I met you. I think they've grown tremendously, because when we started going out, it was in the beginning. Obviously, we didn't know intention, so it's like, oh, I don't know how I feel, or I don't know if he feels the same way about me. And then once we established that it was mutual, and then we just growing together and just being with each other and learn. Again, I think the same thing, like learning. Like the more that you learn about someone, you like value them, you appreciate them. And I just feel like my feelings for you just keep growing. You know, I just love like cuddling up with you. I just love, you know, just doing small things with you, going out and just doing little things, you know.
It's cute.
That's a good answer. I'll give you that.
You guys, have a good spicy answer. Go ahead.
What is our biggest challenge as a couple?
Our biggest challenge as a couple. I don't know what you're thinking, but maybe we're thinking the same thing. I would say our biggest challenge has been saving money.
Yeah.
You're thinking the same thing?
Yeah.
We like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I think we, like, I think we're relatively smart with our money. Like, we have an idea of, like, what the things we want to do and, like, what the things, like, we want to obtain, right? But at the same time, we need to be, like, a little bit more stricter with, in terms of, like,
we
budgeting.
Eat out, like, every week.
We like to treat ourselves, like, you know what I'm saying? The thing is, like, we try to find that happy balance between, like, okay, saving for the future, preparing for certain things, and then at the same time, it's like, we gotta enjoy the life that we have right now. Like, you know what I'm saying? We still, like, go on vacations.
Right, and I'm like, let's save money. Oh, Broadway's next week.
Literally, like, that's your fault. Like, literally, we'll be like, okay, we're gonna save, we're not gonna go crazy. And then she'll be like, oh, you know, but there's 2 tickets on sale for Broadway, like, da-da. And I'm like, alright, well, I'm not gonna say no, you know what I'm saying? And then she'll be like, okay, like, I cook for the week, so we're not gonna eat out. And then some days I'm like, you know, I don't really want to eat the food in the fridge, you know, let's just go get ramen. Like, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, we do stuff like that sometimes.
Yeah,
so
I
think
we need to really be more strict with that, especially if we're trying to, like, save for the future or even, like, invest our money or whatever we want to do with it. It's just...
That's the one area.
Yeah, because, like, I'm, like, realizing a lot of these transactions are, like, food.
Yeah, the expenses pile up. And now, like, you know, like, budgets change and things happen. So it's like, yeah, man, like, we're going to have to definitely get a little bit stricter for sure.
Yeah, I think so, yeah. Okay.
All right. What do you think you missed out on while being in this relationship? Be real, there's definitely things you missed out on. Like, you know, your friends, most of your friends are single, if not.
Wait, y'all see?
My fault. Go ahead.
Probably, like, when I was looking for a job, I wanted to actually, like, relocate, because a lot of my friends were getting opportunities outside of where I live, so I wanted to do that. But because we were in a relationship, I wanted to, you know, stay local. Yeah. And I guess other situations where in the beginning of our relationship, I felt like I wasn't hanging out with my friends as much as I wanted to. But then when we had that conversation, I think like traveling like in a period of time, like just going to visit someone or whatever. Remember, like when we went to UIU, like that was hard. I felt like in the beginning, like it was hard to try to do stuff like that. Yeah. But after having a conversation and just understanding each other, I think we're in a better place with doing that. Yeah, but obviously, I know you want to travel with your friends, and I would be left home alone. So we'll see how that goes.
No, that's real. But I mean, you didn't miss out on that time. You still wanted that time in Houston.
No. Yeah, but I'm saying like.
You're talking about like if there are other opportunities.
Yeah, there was like a previous time that I would want to go, but like for example, my cousin wanted to go to. I think she wanted to.
In Philly?
No, like she just wanted to like have like a girls trip or something like that, and like I was kind of like against it because it's like I didn't want to like leave you, but. I think moving forward, we're probably gonna do something like that.
Yeah, and I'll never, and like I'm never the type to like hold you back from it. But like we think in terms of like, money wise or like trying to be smart. It's like okay, if you're gonna do that trip, then that may take away from a trip for us to do. Yeah. So it's like sometimes you gotta like prioritize. I think in a relationship. So sometimes like to me, I'm like I don't mind missing out on a trip with my friends because they go on a bunch of different trips. They do a lot of stuff. So I'm like okay, whatever. I'll just catch the next opportunity or whatever it is. Because I'd rather go on a trip with you, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but remember I was like debating for you if I really wanted to go because I felt like I almost didn't go. So it was like a struggle battle kind of thing. But,
I see that. I can see that. Why do you think I can provide for you?
Because you already do. I feel as though, I like to feel taken care of. And in this, in our relationship, you do a great job doing that. You make me feel comfortable. In all types of ways, like financially or just emotionally, what was it? Why do you think I can provide? Oh, I definitely, So I just feel as though like the way
this is different because we've already seen like we already lived together.
We see it. So the way you carry yourself, especially around me, like you show me that you care about me, that you love me, that you want to do things for me, and vice versa. So I feel as though you already show these examples, so I know that you can.
That was a good answer. Really good.
Yeah. You guys are so great.
She got some good answers, man.
Yeah. So we could do like two more, one more each. And
we'll do like so one more. Be one and then one more.
One and then
Okay, wow, great.
You definitely got a lot. You definitely got a lot of content in there. You got a lot.
I'm like, this is great ending. What was the proudest moment between us?
The proudest moment between us both. Like something we accomplished together, something that we did together. I was like, oh yeah.
Like something that we're both proud of,
Something we're both proud
of. Between us though, but it's between us. What have you gone through obstacles?
We've definitely had obstacles, but I would say maybe it was like when you initially, because like so the place we live in now was initially my place, right? And you moved into my place, and it was a lot going on. You know what I'm saying? Because you kind of just moved in abruptly, obviously, because it was like, what I'm saying? Her parents obviously weren't for it, and she was going through a lot at home or whatever. But I would say that was the proudest because it was like, as tough as that was, like, for both of us, because it was like, what you were doing with your parents and trying to explain to them and they weren't understanding, and me just having to be there for you and support you through that, especially in the way it happened, like everything was kind of just so like fast, boom, just jump in, and I was just like But I would say it was a proud moment for us because like we were able to overcome that, and now your parents like they like you know what I'm saying, and we built that, like I've been able to build like a good relationship with her parents, her siblings, your close family friends, whatever, same thing, vice versa on this side as well. So I would say that was a very big stepping stone in our relationship, was like having you move in and like us living together. So I would say that for sure. And I'll wrap us up and give you the last question here. All right, how have we grown lazy in our relationship?
I think we know this in a sense of like trying to be more sufficient with eating and just not buying food. Like we are always we do our best by making food at the beginning of the week. Like every Sunday that's like dedicated to making food that lasts us the whole week, and we're trying to like add variety. Before it used to be like one meal, but of course we get tired and we're just like, let's order something. So now we're trying to do like 2 meals or like having variety. Just like I think we've become lazy.
Do you guys make Nigerian food?
We have. We made jollof once or twice. We made goat meat.
Yeah, we made goat
cow
meat.
Foot, all that. Yeah, we made that a couple times.
Yeah, the thing is though, like we're trying to eat
a
healthier.
Process.
So
and Nigerian food isn't. You know how it is. It's not that healthy. There's no healthy Nigerian option.
Like I love jollof rice, but like I don't make it as much as I used to because like I know it's just like not part of like my diet.
We're trying.
Yeah, it's hard though. It's hard. But I think we were lazy in that way because we just rather order food. But now we're trying to make that like conscious effort to actually cook more and just be more versatile with what we eat, because I think that's why we get tired and we're just like, let's just order food.
And I feel like
our Uber Eats are just like throwing discounts at us. Like, this week, like,
actually look at a discount.
Yeah, they said it's literally we haven't like anytime we try to do well, then we try not to order. Then Uber Eats is like, oh, like last night it was $20 off at $25 or more, and I'm like, well, I mean the meal's only $5, so we might as well. You know what I mean? That's how they always get us.
I think that's what it is. Like we try so hard and we're doing well, and then like Uber Eats will be like 50% off, and I'm just like, we
gotta delete the app or something, man. Like that's gonna be the only way to cut us off for real. But it's gonna be tough.
That's what we gotta work on.
That's great. I think this was really a good session, especially being like the first time that we did this. And I think you guys were really great. You guys look like you were already prepared for this. Like,
I'm telling you,
right?
We already had these talks. We already had this conversation. So it just like it just
it looks like you guys are already like in tune with like you guys already like talked about every single thing already. Which is great. It's great. I think it's a great thing, and I think we're definitely gonna have more episodes like this.
Definitely. I want to say thank you for having us on here, man.
Yeah, no, for sure. Really great having you guys. Ogemdi and
Nneoma.
Yeah. Okay. Spell out your name, the full name.
Nneoma.
Nneoma.
Yeah.
But you call it but she call it Nneoma.
Well, it's Nneoma, but are you from Anambra?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's how they pronounce it.
Yeah,
so
it's Nneoma.
That's how it's actually Nneoma, but
Nneoma.
Yeah, but it's,
I mean that's fine. Nneoma is cool. That works too.
Yeah, like I worked with a pharmacist that was from Anambra. She would always stretch out the
She's
end.
Like, Nneoma. I like stop calling me that. She's like, I don't want people to hear this.
I feel like that's how my mom says it. She's like, Nneoma.
Yeah. Like my parents call me just Nneoma. That's it.
Nneoma.
It's the double N's.
It's the double N.
Yeah. I'm like Nneoma. You guys, okay? That's great. All right, guys. Thank you guys for watching today's episode. Let us know what you think about it. If you want to see more episodes like this and you want to see more couples, let us know. Thank you guys for watching once again. It's your boy Vic, and it's Ogemdi and Nneoma.
Yes.
All right, bye.
Bye.